It's your boy Neal back with another reaction video. Guys, we got inflation explained in 6 minutes, but the video 10 minutes, so I don't know what's going on here. But before we jump into this, y'all know I D from y'all. Smack that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon, all up top. You're subscribed to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. I'm human. I talk back. You got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon, or in the description section there's a Google form link. What we got?
No.
Inflation is getting absolutely ridiculous. Like, my pockets cannot keep up with these steady rising prices.
No cool intro, no fancy music. I just want to explain inflation in 6 minutes. I have a degree in economics. I spent years trying to understand this. So let's see if I can boil it down. What is inflation? Why is it rising? Why are people worried? And what do interest rates have to do with it?
The Federal Reserve is raising the interest rate.
Fed is set to raise interest rates.
Highest inflation in 40 years.
Listen, I know that I make long videos. I'm into nuance, I'm into backstory. Well, this isn't that. This is quick. No, really, this is quick. Let's go. Wait, rewind. Hold on 1 second. Before we start the timer, I need to tell you that I was going to do an ad read in the middle of the explanation. Like, I was going to stop the explanation and do an ad read, but I realized I want this to be an uninterrupted 6-minute explanation. So I'll even take out the YouTube ads that are on it so that it can be uninterrupted. But for now, I need to thank today's sponsor because it's literally my job.
I'm just saying, ads probably ain't gonna be taken out of this video, guys. No, you probably gonna have a little bit of interruptions, and that's okay. That's okay. But I appreciate my guy right here for not doing that. I appreciate him for not doing it. He's a better man than I am. Keep it going.
That are on it so that it can be uninterrupted. But for now, I need to thank today's sponsor because it's literally my job. It's how I get paid. Thank you, BetterHelp, for supporting this video and my channel generally. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, or even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. Therapy is a giant part of my life. Been doing it for several years now, and I believe in it. But I know that finding a therapist is hard and cumbersome, and of their mental health with BetterHelp. You can even get 10% off your first month if you go to the link. Thank you, BetterHelp, for supporting this video. Okay, the ad is over. Let's start the clock up again and see if I can do this explanation in 6 minutes. Here we go.
See what you got.
Okay.
Because I don't know, I just know prices rise, but I don't know the details of inflation. You feel me? I've never looked into it, and so this is going to
see if I can do this explanation in 6 minutes. Here we go. Okay, first up, the simplest definition. Inflation is when there is more money in the economy than stuff to spend it on. But if you're like me, the simplest definition never does it for you. So let's try this. Imagine a village that has one market where people buy all of their stuff, their food, their clothes. But one day the government shows up because they're worried about the economy of this village. So they tell the people that if they want to take out a loan, they're going to make sure that the banks will not charge them a high interest rate. They want to encourage the people to take out loans and spend money. Oh, and they also drop off a giant pile of cash for everyone in the village. And everyone in the village is like, sweet, I'm feeling pretty rich. Villagers now are going to their market and they're buying way more stuff. Many of them have been eyeing the fancy electric bike in the market that before they couldn't justify, but now they totally can because they have all this new money. The store owner's like, sweet, this is great for business, but he's running out of bikes. In fact, he's running out of everything because now all of these people have extra money and they're buying way more than they used to. The store owner's like, I can't keep up with all this demand. I should raise prices. And that is inflation. But the village is all of us and the market is the...
That makes complete sense to me. Just that up there makes complete sense. And so when things, the government says, I'm going to give you these big loans, drop these big piles of cash, only 1% interest rate. That's beautiful. I've never seen loans like that. I've never had them like that. The loans I've gotten have ridiculous interest rates, but maybe I'm just dumb and don't know where to get the loans. That's a story for another day. You feel me? So they drop it off. The people, of course, are going to take the money because 1% interest rate, who's not going to take that? Now they can go buy all the stuff that they've been wanting, that they've been eyeballing in that market. Give me the bikes, give me the shorts, give me the clothes, give it all to me. But the store owners, I can't keep up with this demand. Like, people are buying stuff like crazy, so I should raise prices. No, because people are going to keep buying. I'm going to make more money. Huh. But then, you know what I'm saying? He'll be able to keep stuff stocked because they won't buy as much. That's wow.
And that is inflation. But the village is all of us, and the market is the entire economy. When there's extra money floating around and people want to spend it faster than businesses can make stuff, then all of the businesses in all of the industries raise their prices. And that is inflation. It's a natural part of the economy. It's kind of a good thing in small doses because it means that the economy is growing. And it's why movie tickets used to be 25 cents and now they're like $15.
Yeah.
And slowly over time, it's fine. Okay, let's go back to the village and see what happens if we keep going at this rate. The store owner has now doubled his prices on bikes. The interest rate is super low, so he takes out a loan to build a new factory to make bikes. This is good. He's growing a business. But the government money eventually runs out, and his prices are still double. But now the store owner has no one to come buy all of his new bikes. And now he has this factory and more employees, but no customers. He has to shut down the factory, lay off everyone, and slowly start lowering his prices. This is called recession.
Wow.
When COVID shut down the world, governments gave us money, free money. They're like, don't panic and hoard all your money. Instead, spend and borrow and keep the economy going. Here in the US, they literally sent us $3,200 checks. They gave $600 a week to people who were unemployed for months and months and
Oh, I was going to say 3,200. Where? Because I wasn't making no $3,200. You feel me? I got two $1,400 or was it 12? I think it was 12. Still, I got 2 stimulus checks. I wasn't getting all that, you feel me? But the government, there was a lot of programs, a lot of things that were just giving out money, you know what I'm saying, and doing this. So I do understand where he's going with this. Wow. So we learned inflation, we learned recession, you know what I'm saying? Because the government money disappeared, and now my guy is starting a business and started up a whole factory, and he doubled his prices, but now people ain't got money anymore. So they're not buying. So he has to start lowering his prices, has to get rid of the factory, close it down, fire everybody. I got it. This man, shout out this man. It makes
$200 checks. They gave $600 a week to people who were unemployed for months and months and months. They gave subsidies to people with kids. They increased spending on food stamps. I mean, trillions and trillions of dollars of stimulus money. This was vital aid to people in need. But even people who didn't lose a job got a check in the mail. It was free money for everyone. And we spent it.
I just picked up myself a new bike. Demand is up across the country.
It's time to grind, Peloton.
We all just got these big checks from the government. During a pandemic, we're like, YOLO, I'm buying a boat or a Peloton or whatever.
Pokemon cards.
There's Netflix.
Fortnite.
A new motor.
Peloton.
Good soak in a hot tub.
Animal Crossing.
Push it out a little bit so
No, don't you dare!
But pair all this new spending with the fact that the pandemic also made it harder for factories and ships and retailers to get us all this stuff.
Supply chain issue.
Global supply chain.
Supply chain.
So now you have an economy where people have way more money than normal and they're ready to spend it, but the economy can't get them stuff fast enough. So what do businesses do with all this insane new demand? They raise prices all at the same time, and that is inflation. I feel like we're getting this at this point. But what do interest rates have to do?
You're explaining it so perfectly. I didn't even think, because when I did have that money, knowing I was, as soon as it hit the account, I was like, this $1,400 that I didn't budget to have, or 12 that I didn't budget to have this extra money. So I was ready to let me get these Samsung earbuds. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get this camera. I kind of invested if you really think about it, because I use all these things to make videos. Anyway, let me grab this laptop. You feel me? And so I feel what he's saying, definitely. And a lot of people was doing
Inflation. I feel like we're getting this at this point. But what do interest rates have to do with all this?
Raising the interest rate.
Interest rate.
Or the Fed?
Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve.
Most countries have a central bank, the puppet master of the economy, the bank of all banks for that country. But it's not like a normal bank that stores our money and then lends it out and collects interest to make profit. That's what a normal private bank does. The central bank, which we call the Fed here in the US, is run by the government. So their job is to set the rules or policies that all the other banks have to follow. And the central bank isn't motivated by profit, but rather their job is to babysit the economy, to keep it growing, to make sure people have jobs, to make sure that prices don't fluctuate too much so that we can keep growing nicely. No slowdown, no recession. That is what the Fed is there for. But seriously, the Fed is like a puppet master, and we are the puppets, and it's kind of creepy. They pull strings in the economy to get us to spend our money in a certain way, which in turn affects how much watch businesses raise or drop their prices. And guess what? It totally works. One of the strings that they have to pull in the economy is called the interest rate. Want to borrow money to buy a car or a house or expand your business? You're going to be way more likely to do that if you only have to pay 2% interest on that loan as opposed to like 6%. Lower interest rates equal people and businesses want to borrow and spend money. So during the pandemic, the central bank was like, we need everyone to spend money. So they lowered the interest rate and people borrowed and people spent and it totally worked. We're like freaking puppets. So a low interest rate helps stimulate the economy. But once again, we're in this same place where there's now too much money to borrow and spend and not enough goods and services to spend it on. So what do...
That's crazy, bro. They all really just up there. Puppet master controlling everybody could... That's wild. That's wild to. I mean, you kind of know deep down, like, know what I'm saying? But when he breaks it down like that, it's just like, dang, that's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. That's crazy.
The same place where there's now too much money to borrow and spend and not enough goods and services to spend it on. So what do businesses do all at the same time? They raise prices to meet all this new demand all at the same time. And now your money is worth less. And that is inflation.
Home prices rising at their highest
Astronomical
rate.
bidding wars.
Rents are going up
by nearly 24%.
So that's what's happening right now. All the prices are rising kind of at the same time. What that means is that your $100 bill is now worth 8% less than it was last year. Like the same money is worth less because your purchasing power just got diluted. And imagine if that keeps happening. Like instead of 8%, it's 50%. Now your $100 bill is worth what $50 used to be. And that's when people start to freak out. And our economy that's built on human psychology starts to falter and we fall into a recession or a depression even, if it gets real bad, which is exactly what the Fed is built to avoid. So they're back to pulling their strings and they've started raising rates.
The Federal Reserve is raising interest rates.
The Federal Reserve taking action to try and curb rising inflation.
They're gently raising the interest rate to cool down all of this hardcore spending and borrowing. See if they can steer the ship back on course. And let's hope it works. Okay, did we do it?
Bro.
Did we do it in the time period that I promised I would?
My brain just like, it was like boom, like I understand inflation in 6 minutes. 6 minutes. It clicked. It's like it's like going into the Matrix. You feel me? It's seeing all. Because I never paid attention to. Everybody always talked about inflation, but I was just prices rising. We got to deal with it. Ain't nothing we can do. Just deal with it. You feel me? But now I actually understand it. Wow. And so the government could, it keeps the economy going. I guess that makes sense. I don't know why I wouldn't think that the government wouldn't have the economy to keep us away from recession, keep us away from depression.
Okay, did we do it? Did we do it in the time period that I promised I would?
I have no idea.
We'll find out. Okay, last thing I want to say is a thing that didn't make it into my little inflation explainer. But a few years ago when I worked at Vox, I went to Venezuela and Colombia to do a Borders series. I saw inflation up close and personal because in Venezuela, inflation got so out of control and they couldn't, the Fed, the puppet master couldn't like figure out how to get it back in control that their money became worth nothing. The prices went up so high that their money became basically worthless. You needed like a pile of cash to buy bread. So what they started doing is they started using the currency itself to make things. Like I visited this guy on the street who was making like purses and bags and like sculptures out of cash because it was worth more as a raw material than it was as like money, as a currency, which is insane. That's a very extreme version of inflation. It's happened in several countries that have done this. We're not in that situation, even close to that situation, but it's an example of just how tenuous modern economies are. They're not like pegged to gold or whatever. They're like pegged to a bunch of humans believing that this stuff is worth something. And it can quickly go off the rails. So I thought I'd share that little fun thing that is more documented in the Vox Borders episode that you can go watch on the Vox YouTube channel. So that's all I've got. Thank you all for being here. And I think you should check out, if you want to color your videos or your photos, I have LUTs and presets that you can use to color correct your stuff. I also have a storytelling course on Bright Trip where I talk about my methodology for visual storytelling with Nathaniel Drew. I think that's sort of it. All the plugs I should do at the end of these videos. But yeah, lots more to come. We're working on lots of amazing videos, and I'm really excited to share them. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
I gotta check out his channel more, bro. That was the perfect explanation, bro. Where the currency is nothing, it's worth nothing. They were making purses and stuff out of the money because it was worth more to sell as a raw material. That's crazy. That's so wild to me. I can't imagine that. But that's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video you want to see him react to, you can subscribe to Patreon or in the description section there's a Google form link. Hit the link, fill out your suggestions, send it to me. Want me to get to yours faster than others, fill out premium. Make sure you hit subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media and Patreon, all up top. You want to subscribe to any of it, put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal, out.